The process of forming and creating habits is simply the repetition of a series of actions in a certain order, one leading to another within an average of 21 days. Science and research has proven that a constant repetition of a particular act for 21 days turns that action into a habit. If you consistently read a book every morning you wake up, you form the habit of reading books every morning. Each habit responds to a certain type of stimuli called a cue. A cue to a habit is simply an action that leads to another in such a way that once the first action is completed, your body automatically starts the next one without much mental effort to start it. This is because you have told your brain consecutively for a couple of days or weeks that you want to start a particular habit after another. With time, your brain automatically registers that, signals the body and every organ or muscle needed for the next action to get into the moment the first one is completed. Habits can also be intentionally cultivated or terminated, depending on the personal goals and desires of the individual. The formation of habits literally revolves around the power of neuroscience. So to successfully form a good new habit and throw out the old one, you have to tap into the power of neuroscience and decide the particular habits that you want to form and the ones that you want to stop, making sure that your brain understands the code as well as the message you want to get across. Habits are the tasks that we undertake automatically, subconsciously. The body possesses a natural ability to begin to do certain things subconsciously after we have built them up as habits. To form a habit, you just have to repeat that action consecutively for a period of 21 days at the same time every day. With a constant repetition of the same action at the same time, new neural pathways are formed in the brain. And the formation of these neural pathways leads to the development of certain circuits that controls the conduction action. So the more the circuit is developed, the more automated the action becomes. That is to say, the more the circuit is developed, the less we have to think about performing the action or getting our brains actively involved in doing it. The formation of new habits starts out difficult and daunting. And this is because you are newly introducing to your brain new behaviors that it is not used to regulating or engaging in. There are no neural pathways formed to regulate and control the conduction of this new behavior. And hence the beginning will be hard and strange for your body and brain to engage. Now, the conduction of these behaviors that are strange, hard, and unrecognized by your body is controlled by your prefrontal cortex. And this is because it's the part of the brain that engages in the exhibition of deliberate actions, helping you to focus your attention on the particular task and control complex thoughts. The prefrontal cortex is actively engaged in performing that new strange task that you just introduced to your body. It keeps your attention focused on starting that thing and getting it done. However, with time and the consistent repetition of that behavior, you no longer have to consciously think of and actively engage yourself and your brain in the performance of that action. Your body begins to send signals to your brain that you want to start engaging in that action and incorporating it into your daily life. Your brain begins to form new neural pathways that will control the conduction of that activity. A vital part of this process involves your striatum, which controls your habits. The constant repetition of that action makes it a habit, and it involves your striatum, which begins to release chemicals that inhibit the complex thinking, active engagement, and focus from your prefrontal cortex. Now, this releases your prefrontal cortex from actively engaging and getting involved in the performance of that action, giving it more space to think about other complex thoughts and ideas. The formation of habits requires three fundamental prerequisites: a cue, a behavior, and the reward. The cue signals the commencement of the behavior. The cue gives the urge to start the behavior. The cue might be another action, a certain behavior that signals you to start the new one. For example, if you want to start working out, Probably you want to become fit or you just want to lose some weight. Your cue to working out might be making your bed in the morning when you wake up. If your morning routine is something like wake up, dress your bed and clean your house, take your bath, make breakfast, get to work, and you're trying to incorporate working out into your morning routine, you could put your workout time between the time that you arrange your house and you go to take your bath. And thus your morning routine goes: wake up, dress your bed and clean your house, work out, take your bath, make breakfast, and get to work. Now this creates a cue: making your bed and cleaning your house. A chain for the behavior: do your workouts after cleaning your house, and then gives you a reward: feeling fresh, fit, and strong after having your bath just before you start your day properly. Understanding these three prerequisites of building habits will make your habit formation or elimination process way easier. You have cues to stop certain bad habits in exchange for good ones with well-befitting rewards that encourages the continuation of that good habit replaced and formed. I love how the Message translation reads. In Romans 12 verses 1 and 2, it says, "So here's what I want you to do. God helping you. Take your everyday ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for Him. Don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Instead, fix your attention on God. You'll be changed from the inside out. Readily recognize what He wants from you and quickly respond to it. Unlike the culture around you always dragging you down to its level of immaturity, God brings the best out of you, develops well-formed maturity in you." Here, Apostle Paul is teaching the Christians in Rome how to make worship and everyday submission to God a habit, such that it becomes their lifestyle. He said, start from your everyday life, the things that you do ordinarily as a human being, every single step that you take every day, your regular life, and place it before God in submission. He also warned that constantly listening to and participating in the cultures around them that do not fit the standards of God will make them form habits of engaging in those cultural things that do not glorify God, and slowly such behaviors would become their lifestyle. That's why he says, don't become so well adjusted to your culture that you fit into it without even thinking. Becoming so well adjusted to cultures and standards that do not glorify God will make us form the habit of engaging in things that God clearly is not pleased with. Apostle Paul applied the principles of the three main basics to building a good habit. He gave a cue: taking your everyday life to God. He stated a behavior: placing it before God as an offering and embracing what God does for you. And then he stated the reward: God will then develop the best out of you, a well-formed maturity, instead of the immaturity of culture that doesn't fit God's standards. To create a habit and lifestyle of worship, these are the three things you need to embrace from this scripture. God is interested in our daily lives, but more than that, He has loads of blessings in store for us. If only we involve Him in our daily lives and embrace the good things that He has done and is still doing for us. God bless you.